Good morning, Fractal Effects team. Sorry for the delay. We're having some technical difficulties. Before we get started, make sure you read the disclosure in the footer section of fractaleffects.com. We also have it in our description on our YouTube channel. If you're following along with us, make sure you're doing a demo account, as this is for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. So we had PPI today. That's this big, huge candle right here. So we filled it in. We have a break to the downside. That's the first presented fair value gap. We're waiting to tap it. If we don't tap it, we don't take it. US 500 hasn't broken the range to either side, so we're not interested. And US 30 is actually showing the most amount of promise. It's already met all of London obligations, and we have a double break to the downside. Now, we want to get a good entry right here at this blue zone before it just keeps dropping and runs off without us. But right now, US 30 is the most, or rather I should say the highest probability right now. NAS I'd still like to see NAS get into this fair value gap. If it runs off without us, that's uncontrollable. And the fact that US 500 hasn't broken either side of that range makes me a little leery. So we have a double break to the downside with US 30, and we have not come back into this fair value gap. As far as London obligation, we do have a double break to the downside. We had a 2 dB, but the bottom has not yet been broken. So that's another thing to consider. We could just cut right through this and take out London lows. That's why I'm a little leery with these two. But US 30, again, met all obligations, and now I just want to see it come back up into here. We've already hit one standard deviation. We did get a bearish confirmation for the spotlight strategy as well. So dB to the downside and a bearish confirmation. Again, I hope it doesn't just keep going. I hope it comes back up, touches the 20 EMA, comes back into our range, hits the blue zone, and there's a fair value gap in here I'm interested in. Let's see if it gives us that. About 14 minutes till 11. Right now, it's just continuing to push. NAS is back at that first presented fair value gap. That's the NYC fair value gap. Same thing with US 500 at the NYC fair value gap. Just consolidating, but we have not broken the range to either side. NAS took all-time highs with that news. And we did have a mixed model sell. That's an upside expansion model, but we broke the downside, broke to the downside first. US 30 might be taken off without us, but again, I'm only interested here. And hopefully before it runs all the way down. There's previous day's low. There's the NWOG. There is no 4-hour fair value gap below. Just the previous day's low right here. We did take out this 15-minute liquidity right here. That was the 15-minute low. So the further this thing runs without doing a retracement, the higher the chance that this thing could all just go up, and then all of these. So right now there's not enough data for me to make a move. We are on the other side of that first presented fair value gap with the US 500. So when we had a break to the downside on NAS, US 500 didn't break. Usually that means we're going to go up and break to the upside with US 500, which it hasn't happened yet. It did not break the upside yet. Let's see what happens. And again, US 30 was the highest probability trade setup, but it has not come into this fair value gap yet. So that's what we're waiting for. NAS, we're waiting for this 5M fair value gap to be tapped and see what happens here. US 500 hasn't broken the range to either side, so we're waiting for that to happen, which might not even happen during this session. And US 30 has given us all the telltale signs that it wants to drop, but we need to get a foothold, and it would be from here. So nothing has given us exactly what we want as of yet. And keep in mind, today is PPI, so proceed with caution. Beginners should not even be trading on days like this. We're just going over certain strategies and showing you what it looks like. But usually you want to take CPI, PPI, those days off. Non-farm payroll, FOMC, anytime Fed Chair Powell speaks. You want to take those days off usually. But again, we're just walking you through it. Ideally, this would be the best trade setup, the US 30, if the market comes back into this fair value gap. Keep in mind, we're looking at the CFD contracts. The strategy works across the board, across all assets, including futures contracts. It's just CFDs is what we started with. It's a little easier instead of jumping like brokers. So NAS, waiting for that 5-minute fair value gap to be tapped, see if it rips through it or not. US 500, no confirmation on either side, so we're not interested. And US 30, waiting for it to come back into this fair value gap. Now, ideally, I'd like them to hit their fair value gaps at the same time to let me know if NAS is going to push down or if US 30 is going to push up. So this is where everything's going to be decided. Otherwise, we're just going to get runaway markets. NAS looks like it's making that pullback now. Looks like it's coming back into that first presented fair value gap. Remember, as soon as you get a break, the first presented fair value gap, and in the next iteration of the market translator, this will be added. So as soon as you get a break, it will automatically paint out that first presented fair value gap for you, so you know exactly where to go. But for now, we just painted it out ourselves. Getting that pullback now. Again, I'd like to see US 30 pull back at the same time to see which one of these is going to win over. Are we going to push through and go up? Or are we going to push through and go down and match up? US 500 not telling me much at all right now. And the further US 30 runs before that pullback, that could mean that it's just going to reverse because it's already done what it needed to do down here. It's already taken all the liquidity. This is the 15-minute liquidity, and this is the previous day's liquidity, this yellow. So if it keeps running and takes out all of this liquidity before the pullback, then they'll most likely both bounce off of this and push up. Patience, that's the game. That's 90% of the game. Just got to wait it out. But don't be fooled. As soon as you see, just because it's green across the board, doesn't mean that the market is necessarily going to go up. We still have to meet this double break obligation. So even though we hit the DSD low and bounced up, the market could still cut right through here and take out the London lows right into this 4-hour fair value gap. We already took out all-time highs. This is a new all-time high that we set today. We took out previous all-time highs with the PPI news right there. So as soon as you sweep highs, again, could be going for the inefficiency down here, this 4-hour fair value gap. So that's why we're proceeding with caution. We're waiting for every single point of confluence to be met. And until we do, we don't make a move. Five minutes till 11. And even with US 30, there's only one of two things that's going to happen. Either we retrace back into our zone and it gives us a sell setup, a 5M bearish fair value gap, and then a 1M bearish fair value gap. And we take that all the way to the bottom. Or it's going to cut right through here, use this as an inverse to go up. But remember, I cannot buy this market. I have a DB to the downside and a bearish confirmation. I'm not interested in buying this. I can't buy it. Right across the board. And as it stands, as far as NAS goes, I cannot sell NAS until I get a double break to the downside or a bearish confirmation. Follow the rules to the T. US 500 is not going to be in contention until it breaks the manipulation zone. Not sure if we're going to get that pullback from US 30. But again, until it does, we're not interested. Looks like NAS is the first one that'll probably come back into this first presented fair value gap. So let's just wait and see what happens here. Again, a whole bunch of nothing right now. Still not what we're looking for. Whole bunch of nothing. US 30 looks like it's pretty much gone without us. I don't see it retracing anytime soon, and I'm not interested until it does. US 500 still to break the manipulation range, and NAS just consolidating. Usually consolidation leads to manipulation and then extension, so I'm hoping that it comes right back into our first presented fair value gap and then gives us a setup to go long. Right now, none of these look interesting. NAS is now the closest one. US 30 now close to taking previous day's low. So if it takes that, it could start pushing back up right around the time NAS comes back in here and does the same. "24 minutes left in our stream. Let's see if we get that set up. Still a whole bunch of consolidation. Looks like we're getting a power of 3 here, consolidation. I'm hoping the manipulation takes us right into our 5-minute fair value gap. and then we get an extension to take out. At the very least, the candle bodies here. That's a good low-hanging fruit target. So US 30 just took out previous day's low. So this was a runaway. It never tapped into our zone. That's what we were looking for. We were looking for a foothold entry to go short. Never gave it to us. US 500, again, yet to break either side of the manipulation range. It could do so right as we do this pullback here. Just going to get rid of this so it's easier to see, but it's just to show you guys what we're looking for. About 18 minutes left in our stream. Again, not sure if we're going to get what we're looking for. A lot of consolidation. Still looking for that manipulation move. Then an extension. US 30 took out previous day's low, hit the NWOG. This could be where it now begins to climb back up, but again, not interested anymore. It's already hit all the targets to the downside, and I'm not interested in buying this. Again, still nothing of interest yet. NAS is the only thing. 15 minutes left in our stream. Again, still just waiting. US 30 left without us. US 500 hasn't broken the range. And NAS is consolidating. Looks like this might be the move that we've been waiting for, but let's see. Three minutes, 57 seconds left in this candle. Okay, getting that drop down now. Now I want to see it come right into this and see an immediate rebalancing candle, and then a 1M bullish fair value gap. Remember, if you're a beginner, you should not even be trading on days like this. This is just to show you guys how the strategy actually works. So we have not touched the fair value gap yet. So US 500 is actually close to giving us a break to the downside. Let's see if it can give us a break without giving us a bearish confirmation. "34 seconds left in this candle. So it looks like we're going to get a bearish confirmation. So even if we get a break to the downside, I cannot buy this market. So we have a bearish confirmation. NAS continuing to drop. Let's see if it completely just violates this fair value gap, which it already has. I want to see if this closes though. If this closes within, this could be the beginning of the immediate rebalance. Two minutes, 16 seconds left. So if we close below this, most likely we can use this as an inverse to push down. But again, we're not interested. We want to actually see a double break first. So we're closing, looks like back inside the fair value gap. Again, I want to see if it bounces off this. If it creates another fair value gap here, then it's pushing down for a double break. And most likely to take out London lows. Only got 5 minutes left, so this is the last candle. US 30 looks like it's starting a retracement, but we're not interested in this anymore. So that's our time, guys. I want to see this. I'd want to see it leave this entire fair value gap and create another 5M fair value gap to the upside. But again, our window of opportunity is closed, so not really interested. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Please check us out on fractaleffects.com, where we teach high probability trading. Please hit the notification, turn on your hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we're live.